Good morning, everybody. There was the morning bell. I know everybody's probably excited. Today, the S&P 500 and the SPY is made new all-time highs. This morning, this is a pretty good opening here. It's actually running a little bit higher, moving up into the green quite a bit. So we're seeing SPY have a decent pop and move this morning. Let's go, guys. Thank you all for joining up today. If you are enjoying the new all-time highs, smash that like button. Let's go. We got Logan out here, Outlaw, Green, Mason, Perry, Zen, Demure, Jamie, Sean, Aaron. What is up, guys? Hope you're all having a good morning here. I know I am. The long-term portfolio is definitely loving this. I'm going to start up a poll with the SPY. It's going to be, will the SPY break out again and make a new high today? We'll break out again. We'll say past. It's getting close already. We'll just say past 526.80. All right. It's either a yes or a no today. It either will get above there or it won't. Vote it up. I'm curious. What do you guys think? Do you think it can have enough strength to get back and continue? I think that it could. There was quite a bit today, although it is up quite a bit. So, you know, I'm kind of like 50-50, but I like the way it's moving here to open. You know, we actually have a couple nice green candles, so that's a fire thing to see. That's really good. Got a couple stocks that were running up this morning, kind of falling back off here. I don't want to see that. Drinking some nice Red Bull today. Hulk smash the like. Hell yeah, Xbox. Let's get it. You know what we really have to check on today, though? Most importantly, AMC. I'm just kidding. AMC and GME. They're actually down again this morning. Not a good sign. GME falling back off.
How dare you?
Yeah, see, Greta's pissed. I knew it would happen. I feel bad for these stocks. You know, I feel like a lot of people out there who don't really know what they're doing. Every time these ones start to pop off, they just start to go crazy. I had some friends who have never traded options, and I'm not kidding you, like multiple friends. We'll say just people randomly texting me and saying, hey, am I doing it right, etc., etc. I'm like, why are you trying to buy a GameStop like 100-something strike call right now? I'm like, you better watch out, you know. It was kind of funny though. Like every time this happens, people who don't know or, you know, ever look at stocks or care or want to talk about them get into it. A lot of the crypto boys are hopping in now, I noticed, at least in my friend group. Yeah, exactly, Mason. This is how a lot of traders pop their cherry right here on AMC and GME. Yeah, that's funny, Mason. Who drinks Red Bull in the morning, Demure said. Oh. It's got some Crown mixed in, so it's all good. No, I'm just kidding, Demure. That's usually my go-to drink, though. Crown and Red Bull. If I'm out at a party or something. Man, QQQ looking good. 449, 449.40. I bought this big 24-pack of Red Bulls from Costco for like $50. Fucking Costco. QQQ. You know, speaking of Costco, I want to see. All right, they're coming back today. I can't hit on them too hard. Formed a good base in the short term, actually, right around 774, 775. Not too bad, Costco. Not too bad. That's actually recent support, too. Good. Good, good, good. That's a great level. Oh, GME. Norcon said pause. Wall Street doesn't want us to make easy on some meme stocks. I feel you there, Demir. They probably also are not wanting to get in some weird situations with their shorts again. A lot of them. You should see the book map of Nvidia. It's pushing away all the sellers. Let's see it. Whoa. Yeah, it's starting to come down there. There's a few sellers stacking up there. There was enough momentum earlier. I still think it could end up getting through, but we'll have to see how much it consolidates first. Go check on Zoomy Zoom. It ended up falling all the way down under 63.70 again. Damn you, Zoom. For anybody still holding the Zoom, and, you know, if you are, wink, wink. I keep looking for a good exit here on Zoom. Of course, today at open was a good opportunity, but there really wasn't. I mean, there's one volume on the chain. The spread's pretty wide. I'm looking for an exit here on the Zoom. At least a first cut, but hard to get it in here right now. We need some more volume to come in today. Come on, Zoom. Hopefully a lot of these stocks that are dipping today, they start to dip and bounce off supports and move higher. Don't want the uptrend to be all pre-market now, do we? That's been the big problem lately. A lot of pre-market lately. Hey, good morning, Purpose. Appreciate ya. Demir said, I can't play Costco to the upside since they went back up. Sad face. Why? Citi had a nice pop. Yeah, Citigroup, JPM, Wells Fargo. Pretty good days. Citi and Wells Fargo look pretty hot. What about BAC? Bank of America, 39.20 overhead. They look really good, too. Looking at the daily, they're popping off. How's Pfizer? Hey, even Pfizer's up today. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I'm curious on KTOS, Kratos. Let's go. KTOS. Making new recent highs as well. Hell yeah, Kratos. Love to see that for the big money players out there. We got Intel, which is actually coming back. They were having a good open. Intel had a really good open, but ended up coming right back down. That was a decent move at open, though. Someone's looking for a book map on XLE. I'm going to check it out real quick. I don't know if I think I've looked at this one, but it's just been a little while. Nvidia's is interesting. XLE is weird on the book map. Sometimes these ETFs are a little bit weird. Dang, Wingstop is pumping. It was up 3% in pre-market, Demir said. Wingstop. Tommy want wingy. Yeah, moving good. 394. I would take a wing here. You know what? There's got to be a... Oh. I was looking up Tommy Boy stuff, and I was hoping that there was a Tommy want wingy, but there's not. On the sound buttons. Oh well. Looks like we gotta stick with Greta.
How dare you?
DraftKings is moving, Abundance said. That's beautiful. Yes, 45-20. Let's go, DraftKings. DraftKings is coming back alive. They actually started to bounce right around the daily trend. It was pretty close. Started coming back up. In the short term here, there is major resistance, though, on DraftKings. I'll say this. Be a little careful here now that it's up so much this morning. There's a pretty good resistance around 45.30 to 46. Definitely be careful there. I would say more majorly, it lines up pretty well around 45.50, 45.60. Interesting. Let's go to XLE one more time. Starting to fall off a little bit here. I am a little worried about the oil stocks continuing to move lower. I do like the way a lot of them are starting to form support, but consolidation's been pretty clear lately. TSM resistance called for a purpose, said. TSM, let's see. Taiwan Semiconductors doing very well. I like it. That's tough with TSM. The last time they ran like this, they were it was a pretty straight shot up to like 158. There was a little bit of chop around like 156. Maybe watch that as resistance, but other than that, not really too much resistance here. It's going to be more momentum. Feeling out the momentum on TSM. Which today, after the market opened, there hasn't been, I would say, not too much momentum. I could have seen a lot more come in. I would have preferred much more. Apple. Let's see how that one's doing today. 188.60. Let's switch to the daily chart. Looking good, but a small candle so far. Looking at it on the book map. Book map in the Apple. An apple a day keeps the margin away. Yeah, 189. 130,000 shares stacked at 189. 600,000 shares stacked up at 190, guys. I mean, that is gotta be one of the most crucial levels I've ever witnessed on the book map. 685,000 shares at 190. Holy shit. Let's calculate that out. Let's do a calculator here. 685,000. Wow. Times 190. That's $130 million stacked up there. And you know what? You want to know the funniest thing slash the best thing is actually the Apple. That's probably not even that much money for Apple. Now it's a lot, but don't get me wrong, but what's the volume at on Apple already today, just to put it into perspective? The volume's at 1.96 million already, so that stack isn't really anything. It is, but you know what I mean. It isn't at the same time. Demir said, GameStop, my poor boy. Yeah, GameStop's brutal, man. That's a brutal pullback right now. I think the biggest hope, and, you know, I say hope because it's looking pretty brutal, is there's a pretty big support around $35 to like 37, anywhere between here. There's been pretty decent support lately. So I'd say the biggest hope in the short term is that this support holds up and the stock gets a bit of like a double bounce here off of this lower range and starts to come back up. I think that's what is going to be the big hope here. And we got to keep in mind, like, of course there's algos and everything with GME, but how many people are maybe looking to buy this one up off of said support? That's the big question, right? Like, we'll see that in the moment, though, as it hits. Hopefully we see some decent pops back there. If not, I don't know. It's going to look like a no play for me then. I mean, it's going to be a no play for me either way, but I definitely wouldn't look at it at that point. Kramer's talking about your stock, Neo. Oh, shit. That's not good. No. Neo, what the hell happened at open with them? Sheesh. Was actually recovering so well until that. Man. What the fuck? Is this really Kramer's doing? Wow. Looking at Neo's news. JP Morgan upgrades Neo to neutral, puts a price target at 540. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Neo's mass market EV brand will be led by former Disney executive whose name literally means will surely succeed. What? That's their name? Their name is You Shall Succeed. That's funny. Let's go back to the SPY. Getting a little choppy, but overall holding its ground, which is a good sign. That is a great sign to see, actually. There we go. There we go. Man, those banks were doing great. Now they're even slowing up. Coin is up 6%, leading the watch list. SMCI is having a good morning as well. Up over 3%. Yeah, they're starting to come up pretty well on this dip. Let's look at the hourly. Sean said, whoa, DIS. Yeah, DIS selling off like crazy as well. Wow. That's a pretty massive sell-off coming in, Sean. God damn. Wow. That's pretty wild. Man, Disney? What's the bad news with them today? Holy shit. I gotta eye this one up. Maybe it's just falling. Let's see. Disney doesn't expect traditional TV unit to be growth business. Says streaming will be a double-digit margin business. Iger says marketing expenses at Disney Plus are too high. Oh, shit. Disney will invest in Disney Plus technology, cut marketing spend. Oh. Oh, Iger. Don't be doing this. It's okay, though. You know, over the long term, I think it'll be okay just to give us more opportunity to buy in, but still, not a good short-term look. It's starting to actually fill the gap back down. Maybe the gap fill back to like 98 would be pretty sick. Watch out for $100 in the short term. That would be a decent area to watch Disney at. I bet a lot of people are going to be looking to buy it up around 100. Or it'll at least pop onto a lot of people's radars then. That's where I'll be looking to grab more. I'd prefer under 90, but... you know, anywhere under 100 at that point is just DCAing in. Does Kashkari speak today, or when does he speak? Yeah, let's see. He does speak. Let's see. It's at 12 p.m. Eastern time, so a little bit later today. I don't expect anything too crazy out of Kashkari or Bowman, but you never know. Powell said some pretty good stuff yesterday at his event. Not that it was good, but it, I guess it was. It's good in my eyes, but maybe not for the market. It depends on who you ask if it was good or not, right? Like, some people right now will say, you need to cut rates, Powell. Cut them now. While other people say we need to keep them higher just because we need to for the economy, right? And I'm kind of in that boat. I think that they need to be kept higher. But some people would disagree there. Kashkari's just reckless. Yeah, everybody goes nuts on Kashkari. Check out ticker FFIE. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, Demure. You know, it's a lot of messages out there. Just resend it. Let's see. Faraday Future. I've never heard of this. It's only... you're not going to like my answer here. It's only 50 cents. I mean, it's been moving up, which is good. Seems too risky for me, though. I don't like it. The riskiest I get with stocks like this is like PLNH, you know, like a marijuana company or something. You know, I generally don't, well, I tell you, nowadays, for the past like 5 years, I don't trade any stock under like $1 unless it's this one, PLNH, but especially under like $5 even. Besides, again, Tilray. But just be careful with that, Demir. FFIE. I've never heard of it. You know, and sometimes these stocks can do pretty good. I would say this, though. This stock does a lot of reverse splits, and those will kill you over the long term. Like, essentially, like, let's say you buy in now, and then the stock reverse splits, and then it falls, you're gonna lose like your whole position. You know, that's the reason why it's so bad. And that's been happening with this one nonstop, it looks like. Pretty wild. It's a pretty wild one. Wow, what a weird chart. Interesting though, Demir. You know, it's interesting to see. As far as intraday price action, you know, in the short term, I would say it's more of a momentum game. The momentum's kind of been there. I think the biggest opportunity with this one would be, like, with the pricing it's at, like, you need to see good momentum like you did intraday yesterday and just catch that really quickly. Like, honestly, like, just try to catch, like a little, like, 50-cent move on this or something. You know, that, a little, like, 50-cent move is, like, 10% on this, so... I would just do shares, just catch like a real quick run. But it's all about momentum with this one. Too bad it's not moving like yesterday, that's for sure. Yeah, it's definitely weird. It's another meme stock, yeah. I didn't know it was meme related, but... Alex said the bots can't predict news. None of the bots picked up Disney, Jason said. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, none of them can pick up news, and who knows, maybe the puts weren't priced right on Disney. There could be there could be like 100,000 reasons why Disney wasn't called. Tilray falling off. Damn you, Tilray. Let's go back to the SPY. It's also still consolidating / falling a little bit here. Definitely nothing too bullish since open. It tried running it open a bit. Ran up almost $1 and then fell back. Is that FFIE that has that volume? Oh. Wow. Yeah, yesterday it had 1.57 billion. Today, already at 328 million. Interesting one. Interesting. I guess it's easier to have volume, though, whenever your stock's only 50 cents, but... Let's see what the bots come out with today, though. A lot of chop right now. Maybe we'll see some better action coming soon. Tesla dipped quite a bit this morning. They dipped quite a bit. I bet there's a lot of people looking to buy the dip on Tesla down here. I don't think it looks terrible. Obviously, you know, if it falls under like 173.25, you know, you got to stop it out, though. It's your host, Kashkari. The Cash Cab. You know, that's funny. I haven't heard of that show in a long time, Cash Cab. There used to be a funny one called, like, it was on HBO or something called, like, Taxi Cab Confessions or something. And I think these people would, like, confess to, like, really, like, weird crap that they'd done, and some of those would be pretty weird, to say the least. Come on, GME, let's go. Jaden said the bot's calling GME puts. Yeah, GME might actually have some good momentum there. I'm actually surprised at that, Jason. I am surprised it's calling that. A lot of good momentum, though. I'll tell you what, a lot of good momentum down. It must be enough movement that it's making up for the IV on GameStop at the moment. I wouldn't trade it, though, just because the SM bot calls it, of course. SM bot's a screener, and I know you guys know that, but just for anybody else out there who's new, Disney puts actually were on the bot for a second there. DIS. Zom puts on there. Damn, Zom's starting to hit a low. Let's see, Apple calls. Ooh, I'll tell you what, Apple calls are probably the best thing here. Looking pretty good. Getting up to like 188.90. Come on, Apple. What a good daily by Apple coming back. They need a good comeback. What's your support on coin? Ticker symbol COIN. Go to the hourly. All right, so first support coming up right around 208. That's going to be the first major one. After that, 206. And then below there, 200 even. You could also say 202.50 if you wanted to look under it's something under 205, 206. You could say 202.50, but 200 mainly under there for coin. There's actually a lot of good support levels here on coin, which is a good sign. I would bet we see at least a little bit of a bounce within this little range if it does get into there. Eldorian said, are you picking up Neo options on the next Friday? No, no, no. I am not. I personally am not. I've been in a Neo play in the premium Discord for a while. It was a failed big money play. But besides that, nothing else with Neo here. It was actually this one from November. Good old Neo. Goddamn, Hope Depot climbed back $20 in 2 days. They really came back? Wow. Wow, that's a pretty crazy chart. They did come back, didn't they? Not too bad. It doesn't look like that crazy a movement for Home Depot. Looks like they have candles like this quite a bit, but still though, that's decent. Eldorian says, Disney calls next week. I wouldn't do that yet. I wouldn't do that yet. I would take a little bit of caution. I would wait a couple more days. Wait till it gets to like $100 even. Once it gets to like 100, I think that'll be an awesome snipe opportunity, Dorian. Right at 100. It might not be like something that goes up for like months at a time after that, but I would say like for a quick scalp slash snipe, whatever you want to call it, I think it would be looking really good. Apple just broke through that big red wall. It was at 189. AAPL. Sheesh. Yes, it did. Now the next big red wall is 190. I think there was like 100-something thousand shares there. Around 189, 190. We're seeing 700,000 shares on Apple. Watch out for Apple. That's going to be a big resistance. I'll tell you, I don't see it breaking that right here. It could, but I'd be pretty surprised in one go to see a break. Please, Stocked Up Live. SMH resistance. VRT as well called for a purpose said. Let's see. VRT. Vertiv. I haven't heard of this one too much. I have. But, wow, that's a pretty good move by VRT. I mean, there isn't really any resistance to give because, you know, it's at all-time highs. So, you really, it comes down to feeling out momentum here with VRT. I like $100 as support. I think that'll be good, even right around like 101.75, 101. I like supports there. But at the end of the day, VRT, I don't know, it's not my favorite move. It's been doing well on the daily, but besides for like a couple of days where it moves higher, it's mainly just chop. Like right here, the past 2 days has been good. Right here on the chart. This like 2 to 3 days was great. Right here, this little week was good. But besides that, it's like, besides those very select little pops, this one's been pretty choppy. But, I mean, that's the stock market, right? You know, a lot of stocks look like that. I'm not saying it's bad. I just, I don't know. I've never looked too much at VRT. I wish I could give you more solid resistance. I guess the high of day would be great, like 103.50. Really close to that. Whenever you're at all-time highs, though, you know, it's about momentum. Are we going to keep up with the momentum and keep pushing? Or are we going to fall back? SMH, yeah, resistance right around 230. If we could break there, that would be pretty hot for SMH. It actually looks like it's about to. This is a big spot, too, over the past couple weeks. A lot of hits. A lot of hits around this 230 mark. This would be a very nice level to just have a clear breakout here at. And I wouldn't be surprised. You know, these semiconductors have been hot. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but on the nightly videos, I've actually been calling them out quite a bit. I think I looked at Qualcomm the other night. That stock's been on fire. I've also looked at TSM heading into today. Let's go. Looking great, looking great. Been looking at chip stocks up. I know a lot of people are probably looking at chip stocks down. I actually am looking at them up. You know, it's in the short term here, the overall opportunity down has came and gone. You know, it did. And trust me, I was somebody that I wanted it to fall. I was really wanting a good pullback. We got a fairly good one too out of many stocks. They're coming back pretty good now though. I don't mind the market moving up here in the short term. Except ARM. What do we got with ARM? Wow. That is a big difference today, isn't it? Yeah, good job, ARM, you damn stock.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? You ever heard of Semtech? Yeah, I've heard of Semtechs, Demure. You know, like when I was like 12 years old, I used to throw a lot of Semtechs on MW2, man, and they were the best one out there, the best nade on the game, man. The Semtechs. They might not be the best anymore, but back in my day, the Semtechs were the best tool on that game. Do you think Zoom options premiums are expensive because of earnings on Monday? DJ, I don't think they're too expensive right now. Honestly, I don't think that they're that expensive. They're fairly expensive, but not too bad. Yeah, I would say they're not too bad. But those are definitely playing a factor. Or the earnings are definitely playing a factor. Yeah, I definitely knew what you meant, Amir. Trust me. I don't know the ticker, though. If you could send that out there, it would help me out. But I figured you meant that. Do you think I'll get crushed because of IV? DJ said, I'm thinking of getting back in. Are you looking at the swing play that I was in for July, DJ? Or let me know. SMTC, I see. I've looked at this one in the past, but it's been a long time. Yeah, I've never heard too much about him, though, like, compared to the others. There's a good gap to fill up to, like, $45. It would be nice to see him get up to there, at least. In the short term, they're getting pretty overextended this year, but... yeah, I'd say pretty overextended. DraftKings big break. Are you lying? Lies. No, I'm just kidding. It tried to move up for a minute. It did break 45.20. When I go to the daily, though, like, this whole area is a pretty big resistance, so don't look for, like, an exact number, like 45 or something. Like, look at a lot of these wicks that extend up here. It's not going to be a perfect hit and drop. I gotta take my Corvette to the dealership today at noon. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. I'm sure you guys have heard me bitch about that before on the channel, but the Corvette has so much bullshit with the transmission, with service. It's such horse shit, guys. Like, you'll get these warranties, and then, like, there's, like, no information anywhere besides if you read, like, a 300-page owner's manual, and it might say in there somewhere, like, every 3 years or 45,000 miles, you have to change the transmission fluid. And then every 7,500 miles, you have to do the DCT filter, which is the transmission filter, essentially. And it's like, it's so dumb. If you don't do it within the 3-year span, they'll deny your warranty every time. You could be 1 day late on this thing, and if your transmission breaks, bam, warranty denied, and then you got to pay 20 grand for these fucking transmissions. It's an insane amount, but it's kind of silly how much they cost. But it's pretty whack. Very whack. You know, I know it's a cool car and everything, but they need to give, like, better info on, like, hey, if you don't get this done soon, you're gonna lose this or something. Like, you know, they need to give you more info. Honestly, it shouldn't be something you have to, like, scour the internet for, like, hours to figure out, you know. That's my only issue with it, but Steven said, did you use your one free service? No, because there's more bullshit with that, Steven. So, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, so since I bought it used, I don't get a free service. You only get a free service if you buy it new. So, there you go. Since I'm not the original owner, they're not going to give me a free service, which sucks. But I would normally get one, yes. They really aren't ripping me off, Demir. I mean, I hate to say it. They're doing it everywhere, but I guess they are, in a way, but... Yeah, there's been a lot of horror stories online, like people who were like a month late, their transmission broke, and then bam, they wouldn't cover it or anything. It's kind of whack. Palmer said, did they give you a free tank of gas? No, they didn't. I don't know. I take it to them today, so we'll see what they do. Guess the amount, guys. It's gonna be a stupid amount, like. So I have to get the fluid change now. The car has it's a 2021, and the car has 4,000, let's say 4,800 miles. Okay. I'm gonna have to get it done now because I'm at the 3-year mark for the fluid. And then I have to get it done again at 7,500 miles. So I have to do this again literally within like the next like 6 months to a year, depending how much I drive it. It's very annoying how they work it. And if I don't get it done the second time, then they'll deny it's so bad. GM, I'm gonna short your damn stock because of this stuff. I will say though, they definitely need to figure it out. Get it a little bit better, but... The QQQ's looking pretty nice today. We were sitting on there for a minute. They're coming back towards highs. It would be beautiful to see a breakout. Xbox goes, is it enough to get a new car? You know, I mean, it's such a cool car, though, that, like, it's one of those ones where you're like, you know... I know, like, with Porsches and Lambos and all those, and trust me, I know, guys, it's Porsche, but I know with all those, you gotta get the fluid done at certain times and etc. too, but... Yeah, Steve, I would definitely try it. And they would do me, like, free oil changes, but not the DCT fluid and stuff, because this DCT fluid, Steve, like, it's going to end up costing me, like, well over, like, $700, I would say, to get this fluid changed. It's really dumb on the Corvette. People call it the Corvette tax, because GM just knows the owners are going to pay it. Which is okay, you know, I'm not really complaining about that. I just don't want, like, the warranty to be ruined or anything. You know, that's my issue with it. I don't mind paying for the service. That's not too big a deal. But, like, let's say now the transmission breaks and they say, well, you're 2 weeks over the limit. Then I'm going to say, well, hell no. All right, let's go to Palantir today. Come on, Palantir. DraftKings trying to come back up to 45.30, 45.35. Randy said, do you have a child seat for the vet? No, my daughter's too young for it. She's only 5 months old, so yeah. Maybe when she's like two or something, I'll get a little child seat for it. Hopefully by the time she's new, or hopefully by the time she's 2, I'm driving like a GT3 RS though. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Tilray selling off today. That Spy's wild. I actually, there's a GT3 RS for sale at the Porsche dealership by my house. And it's for sale for $450,000 for a 2024. I don't know if that's a good price or a bad price, but it is one of the most badass cars I have ever witnessed in my life. It's a good spec too, trust me. They got everything done to this one. Yeah, you're right, Steve. I definitely did save. I definitely did save. Let's look at ticker symbol TM Toyota. We got my girlfriend a Toyota RAV4. She bought a brand new 2024. It's a pretty badass car. I'm not going to say it's great. You know, there's a lot of things about that thing that feel cheap. And don't get me wrong, that's what it's meant for. But with the cost of SUVs nowadays, it's just insane how much these suckers cost. Yeah, Demir, it's really not, is it? The daily, it's starting to fall off quite a bit from earnings. Definitely not as hot as it was. The stock was on a pretty good ripper, though. Even while Ford and GM have been stuck in the mud, they've been ripping. So I can't hate on Toyota stock too much, but... Give me 1 sec, guys. I gotta grab a drink. Called for a purpose, asking for Qualcomm resistance. Definitely. QCOM. Nice move, Qualcomm. How far am I going to have to go back for this one? Okay. Well, the resistance goes all the way back to 21, where it was at highs. Definitely like 193.50 is like the all-time high, right around there. There is some resistance around 192.50 as well. So we're almost right on resistance with Qualcomm. Sean, I love that. I got new brake pads for my 06 Trailblazer. Putting them in myself. $38 shipped for all 4 sets. Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. I couldn't believe, right before we totaled my girlfriend's truck, we actually bought new brake pads, new rotors, new everything for the brakes and the rotors and all that. New bolts even. And we were like about to put it all on. And then I totaled it and I was like, oh, man. But for all that stuff, it was only like $250 for like all of it. And I was like, are you kidding me? For rotors, pads, bolts, all of it? Like, the dealer would have charged me $1,000 for that, if not more. Whenever I had my Mercedes, I used to have a 2008 S63 AMG. It was an '08, so, you know, don't get your panties in a bunch. It was cheap. But it was cool. It was like $30,000. But the stupid brakes and rotor job, that job alone was going to cost like $7,000, $8,000. And that was like 1/3 of the price of the car. Just for brakes and rotors. I was like, fuck no. I was like, I'm out of here. Traded that thing in and got a 2016 Mustang. Which, I really like that Mustang. I still like it a lot. Fiva wants a 2012 C63. No, Fiva. Fiva, I got you, Fiva. Trust me, I got you. Watch this. This is the badass one, Fiva. If you're looking for like an older AMG car like that, check this out, man. 2012 SL63 AMG. Here you go. This one's a badass one, man. I really want this one. This one is sick. It's just like the C63, except it's a convertible, man. It's so sick. It's a hardtop, I believe. Is it not a hardtop? Maybe it's not a hardtop. Hang on. Maybe I lied. No, it is a hardtop. Okay. Yeah, check out the SL63 AMG, man. It's just like the C one, except it is even better. It's so awesome, dude. And trust me, I love the C1 too, don't get me wrong. I like them both, but man, this is such a cool car. Love the way it looks. Oh, the classic engine bay. What is it? The M156? That's what that is. Yeah, the M156 engine. Double check me, guys. I'm sure I know my parts here. M156. When I had mine, I actually tried to take this plastic piece off, and I didn't realize this, but whenever you try to take this off, if you're not careful, it snaps in half. Honestly, I didn't do anything. I barely put a little bit of pressure, snapped in half. I was like, oh, great. You look those up, they cost like $300. I was like, what the hell? Mason goes, it has no top. That's funny. Let's go over to the SPY. Man, what is up with this consolidation today, guys? Like, the market was so good in pre-market trading, and then just died off and consolidated out of nowhere. I want to see a great pop and breakout above like 526.80, but we're not getting any good movement here. Like, almost none. Demir said I might consider a put on SPY. Fiva said German muscle or American. Oh, that's a tough go, Fiva. That's a tough go. I'm going to go with American, because I'll be real with you, Fiva. As an American here, and you know, I'm going to be a little bit biased, but as an American, I have to say, like, our muscle car segment is a lot better than Germany's muscle cars and whatever you want to call them, you know. Those cars, I wouldn't even call them muscle cars, really. Those cars, you know, are a lot of times so filled with shit. They're heavy, you know, it's like, it's not quite the same. Now, I get it. American muscle cars are heavy too. But when I think of American muscle cars, I think of like the classics, you know. I don't think of like a brand new Challenger, you know, or like a Mustang or something like that. You know, like if you're going to compare them, like I don't think it's fair because the prices are also so different. Like you could buy a brand new Mustang GT with like 500 horsepower for like, or like, let's say it's 480 horsepower, whatever it is, for like, let's say 50 grand, somewhere close to that for like a GT, right? And then you go look at like a BMW with 500 horsepower, you're looking at, holy shit, you're looking at like 100 grand or more for a brand new one. What tips do you have on to not get nervous about options? Man, Outlaw, you got me on a tongue twister there. But some good tips about not getting nervous about options really comes down, in my opinion, to how you're entering the play and what kind of plan / strategy are you using? Like, what are you implementing, Outlaw? Because whatever you're doing, you should be able to enter the play and then just not think about it anymore. Like, obviously, you might need to think about it a little bit. Like, you might need to look at the option, look at the stock, eye it up. But at the end of the day, you should be able to enter and say, hey, if it goes to here, I'm out. I'm washing my hands clean. I'm good to go, right? You should be able to do that. If you can't do that, then you definitely need to start trying to do it and putting in a good effort into doing so. A lot of traders might say like, well, I tried doing that and then I always get freaked out and then I adjust. Mentally, it's hard to not adjust, but just enter in like with your stop where it is, leave it there, you should not be risking enough to be worried about it. You know, like, statistics at the end of the day are going to work themselves out. If you have a winning strategy, at the end of the day, the statistics are going to work out in your favor, especially over the long run. You know, if you have a true winning strategy. If you don't, and you're just going willy-nilly at things, guessing, etc., which if you don't have a good stop and a good plan in place, it sounds like you are doing, then you need to be very, very careful. But the big thing about it is just becoming an AI, becoming a robot. You know, like, you get your strategy, you look at the levels. When it gets there, you're out. You know, it's as simple as that. You're gone. Don't overthink it. Don't get nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. Losses happen. You know, you could lose 40% of the time and still be... You could actually lose 49% of the time. You could lose 60% of the time and still win. If you have your risk-reward ratios right, and your winning percentage truly sticks at that number. But that would be asking a lot. I'm not going to lie. That would be asking quite a bit. I'm not going to go that far. You know, that's getting a little out of hand. But overall, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, no problem, Outlaw. No problem. I use Yahoo Finance and Robinhood Options Chain. Yeah, and that's okay. I would say the big thing, Outlaw, that it comes down to is going to be your stock knowledge. You know, like, you need to be looking at the charts. You need to let the charts really dictate what you're doing here. You know, a lot of people, in my opinion, worry too much about options pricing, maybe getting the perfect option, getting this, getting that. Most options, unless you're looking at like GameStop, are good enough. You know, like, let's be real. Like, if there's a good intraday move, you're gonna catch a win. You know, at the end of the day, on an intraday option, most of the time. Very rare circumstances. The one big negative is if there's a big gap and no volume. You don't want to have too big of a gap on the options chain, and you want to have good volume. As long as those are there, you'll usually be okay for the most part, as long as you're catching true good moves. Now, like, let's say you're trying to scalp in a weird way. Like, let's say you're doing GameStop. Like, you're trading something with an insane implied volatility, and you're going long. And, like, let's say you go long off this little support right here where the red arrow is. Let's say you go long right here. And, you know, you buy the 34 strike calls. And you see that little green candle. You know, if the IV is so strong that, like, it's outweighing those little scalps like that, you shouldn't be playing it, you know, at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, that's kind of where I'm getting at with those options like that. Like, as long as they're priced okay, there's no gaps, there's good volume, you should be A-okay. You know, as long as the IV is not too high. GameStop broke support. No, that's not good. But yeah, Outlaw, I would definitely, like, Outlaw, I don't know if you're using this or not, but you definitely got to get more into, like, trading view charts. I wouldn't just stick with Robinhood, just the app. Or Yahoo Finance. Stuart said, what is a good IV percentage? Under 40%. That's a good question, Stuart. And it's all actually relative to said stock. You know, now there is going to be some subjectivity there. You know, there's a lots of stuff that go into the IV. You know, there's going to be a lot that goes into play. Like, if you're looking at GameStops, you know, it might never get under 40%. So, like, a good IV on GameStop, it's just relative to each stock on what your IV is. And I'll show you what I mean here. Let me pop out a chart real quick, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Let me get one popped here. Sorry. I'm going to get one popped out. All right. So we just detached the QQQ chart. We won't be using this one, but I'm just going to pull it up. Go to the daily. Let me make sure you guys can see it right, because I'm sure you can't. Yep, the IV is hidden. I thought so. So let me get this right here. Let me get the IV up for you. This damn thing. Every time I try to get the bottom, it's like auto full screening this damn thing. Here we go. All right, now you guys can see the IV at the bottom. And I'm going to make the IV real big. So it's relative to each stock. So right now, we're looking at QQQ. Don't even pay attention too much to the IV there. Like we go to Apple, for example, right? Like the IV is actually low relative to where Apple's been at the past couple of years. You can see it on the chart. You can see how the IV, compared to how Apple has been, is fairly low, right? The implied volatility is pretty low right now. The stock's moving higher. A lot of times the stocks go up, the IV falls a little bit. Not every time, but you know, in the past, that's been a fairly common thing. IV picks up quite a bit whenever the stocks drop. Of course, people start freaking out, volume increases, etc. So we start to see IV start to move a little crazier. Whereas when we look at something like GME, you know, it's at 300% now, of course, but let's say like relatively, you know, like a good low point on GME's IV would be like 76%. You know, whereas like you look at something like Apple, and the low point of the IV is around like 20%. So it's all relative to said stock, depending on how the overall volatility is on that stock. So I don't want you to just to think like, hey, 40% is a good number, because it's really not. Like, let's say Apple is like 20% and then it goes up to 40%. Now the IV is going to be pretty high, you know, relatively. That'll be the highest IV number it's been at in like 8 months or something. So like, you know, it's all relative to the stock you're trading, how much the stock moves, how much volume it has, how much volatility it has, etc. There's no set number. What I would do, like I said, would be to go and plot it, and to plot the IV and to look at the IV itself and say, hey, you know, the upper range of this IV on Apple is around 52%. The lower range is around 20%. So anywhere in between, like, you know, 20 to 25% is fairly low IV relative to this stock. Let's say we switch to another random one like NEO. You know, it's at 113% IV. The lower end of the range for the IV recently has been around 68, 70%. So just wanted to clarify that. Yeah, and definitely check out TradingView a lot too. Yeah, no problem, Stuart. No problem at all. Demir says, I like TradingView, but oh my god, I don't want to pay another subscription fee. Hey, no problem, Demir. You know, I don't pay for TradingView. I don't even pay for it. There's really, and you know, I could. It would be like a write-off at the end of the day. But I could pay for it, but really Thinkorswim does enough for me that I don't even need to pay for TradingView. And you can get almost everything you need on TradingView for free. Like everything that you guys have ever seen on TradingView, on the nightly videos from me and from the streams, is all the free TradingView. I'm not kidding. Not one time has it been paid. So don't think it has to be paid for. It's a great free service. Anything that they don't offer, my Thinkorswim offers. So I just use Thinkorswim if I want anything else, you know. Can you show bookmap on Tesla? For sure. TSLA. Falling down quite a bit. getting close to support. I have 173 as support on the chart. I wonder if Bookmap will support that or not. Yeah, 173 is not too bad. 57,000 shares stacked up right there. A pretty big spot. Yeah, they do have really good sales from time to time, Stuart. They do. Their sales are pretty awesome. They just had one for something a couple weeks ago. Or maybe like a month ago now, but they did just have one. Yeah, 173 is pretty decent support there. Look at all those buyers stacked up within even 20 cents of 173. It's quite a bit. We got Tessie chopping around 174. Will Costco break its all-time high by the end of the week? COST. It might at this rate. Yeah, I mean, it could do it tomorrow. If there's one more good candle, I could see it breaking pretty good. Thoughts on Boeing? Boeing selling off kind of hard this morning. Not my favorite stock to look at today. There is support around 176 and 174. But I don't know. It's not really bouncing too well. Falling off. I wouldn't look at it too much here in the short term. I would say not the best opportunity. If you're looking to trade it down, that's probably the way I would go. It did just test resistance. I like the daily chart as far as looking at it to the downside, but yeah, KTOS has been pretty slow, but it has been fire, DJ. That big money play is killing it on KTOS right now. That has been one of the best stocks over the past couple weeks. I'd say over the past 5 to 10 trading days, this thing has been just exploding. All right, guys, give me 1 minute. I will be right back. Gotta grab a water. Just take 1 second. Alrighty, guys, I am back. How is MSTR today? MicroStrategy. Yeah, not bad. Good little pop today, coming up well off this low. Not bad, MSTR. I do like the way that it's forming a good little base right here. That base looks really solid on MSTR. It actually is doing like a bit of an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. It's pretty spot on. It's not perfect, but Damn close. Looks really good. Give me 1 second here. Let's go look at some bookmap stuff. I want to look at the DX feed bookmap price real quick for somebody. Someone's asking about it in Discord. All right, let's go. I might load up on calls. Demir said on Costco. COST. It's probably not bad, honestly. Doing very well. Today, it's about to hit resistance, but I would not be surprised if it broke out tomorrow again. Getting so close to that all-time high. Same thing with the SPY. Of course, SPY is making new highs. Literally, as we speak, SPY is at a new high, so that's awesome. It's been a pretty crazy trading day this Wednesday, hasn't it? Pretty insane out here in the stock market. Too bad Zoom isn't zooming. That would have been a nice one. At least just to hold up a little bit more. SPY to 528, Palmer said. That would be pretty cool. I could see it today. I would not be too surprised. It's been doing very well. This is like the definition of a bullish breakout opportunity here, especially as it's breaking 527. This is pretty nice, pretty awesome. Let's see NVIDIA on the book map one more time. $940 is a big resistance there. $950 as well. Switch over to NVIDIA. Yeah, starting to still hold up well. Making new highs of the day. Look at that, NVIDIA. 2.84%. Sheesh, today has been great. Especially for the chip stocks. Mason achieved an all-time high with the platinum OG the other day. Oh gosh, that's funny. Another one. That's pretty good. No, not me, Cornish, just a disclaimer. Tesla looking like a good pullback for an entry. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I was liking this dip earlier this morning. This base is definitely holding up well. It might not be a bad dip buy here. It is around support. Not too bad. Not too bad of a look. Of course, the main thing is like, hey, if it starts breaking under here at like 173, just sell it. You know, just get out. Keep a good stop loss, and I think it's not a bad play here. Come on, Tessie, let's go. Ryan said, what are the levels of break on SPY? There really isn't too many. It's at all-time highs, so it's hard to give like a good exact level here. I mean, I guess if you want to look at somewhere, this 527 to 527.25 overhead resistance has been pretty big here. I would definitely make it break here before an entry now if you're looking to scalp. But it's at all-time highs, so it's hard to just say an exact level. There's not really any established areas yet. You can always go to Bookmap and look at SPY overhead and look at like 528, 527.40 maybe as well. You know, a lot of sellers stack there, but besides looking here, not too much. And if there's good momentum, it'll just break these like no problem. So it's hard to say on SPY at the all-time high like this. BA still falling down around support, 176. Switch over to Ford really fast. See if we can get any crazy movement out of them. No, nothing. GM. GM doesn't look too bad. Coming back up off the chop. I know Coinbase was pretty hot earlier. They're trying to hold. Man, SMCI really just kept running, didn't it? 6.8% now. Damn, SMCI. They're coming back well on the daily. I wonder if they'll start to come back and retest like 990 to 1,000 again. That would be pretty awesome. I wouldn't mind a comeback. But all right, guys, we're probably going to end the stream here. I really do appreciate you all joining up this morning. The market's been running higher. I would say not a ton of opportunities since open, unless you're looking at like SMCI or just a couple other stocks. Would have been pretty hard to buy the dip on a lot of these. Got QQQ moving here as well. That's good to see. So SPY and QQQ themselves are actually holding up pretty well, but a lot of the individual stocks just, I don't know, fairly choppy on the day. I did like Apple a lot earlier. They're still fairly good too. Thanks as always, Tom. See you in the live Q&A tonight. 100% Xbox. Let's go. Yeah, live Q&A tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget about that, guys. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you join up. Get your questions in. There's been a lot of good questions lately about options pricing and etc. Mike loves to talk about options pricing. So if you got any questions with that, definitely get them in. definitely get him in. He could go on for hours about options pricing. If you're in the premium Discord, check out #event information. It's under the trading floor tab. There's a nice form there you can use to submit the questions to Google. So check out event information. Other than that, have a great rest of the day, guys. Try not to ask for too many book maps while I'm at the dealership later. Appreciate you guys, though. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Have a great one. What time is the Q&A for us East Coasters? 9 p.m., Stuart. On the East Coast, it's 8 p.m. Central. And then I believe like 6 p.m. Western. Maybe 5 p.m. Western. I don't know. It depends on the time of the year. Once I start going west, I get a little confused. So have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later.